Deep Dive by Global Heroes, your go-to for the real stories behind real heroes. Get more inspiring content in your inbox with our newsletter, and be sure to follow along on social media. You know, a smile. It's powerful, right? It connects us, shows confidence. But imagine if that simple act felt out of reach. We've been looking into source materials about cleft conditions and the amazing work Operation Smile does.
And it's incredibly urgent. Get this. Every 3 minutes, somewhere in the world, a child is born with a cleft condition. And the sources are really clear. You should know this isn't just about appearance.
No, not at all. If it goes untreated, and that's the reality for so many kids, the problems start immediately. They're severe.
Exactly. For newborns, you're looking at real trouble feeding. They can't get that suction they need. Often that means terrible malnutrition, even before surgery is an option. And later, it impacts their speech, their hearing, even how they fit in socially. It's like one problem leading to another.
Which brings us to the core of this deep dive, just understanding the scale here. The estimate is 5 million people around the world are living with untreated cleft conditions right now. And the sources, they specifically call cleft care essential health care. Why that term exactly?
Well, it comes down to survival and basic development. If a condition stops a child from eating properly or speaking clearly, it's essential to intervene. It puts it right up there with, say, basic vaccines or care for new mothers. It's fundamental. And that necessity just throws this huge access gap into sharp relief.
Wow, yeah, the gap is dramatic. Like here in Canada, the standard is pretty much set. Cleft conditions get treated, usually in the first year. It's expected.
But globally, it's a completely different story, often a really tough one. We read these accounts, families traveling for days across difficult terrain, maybe in very remote places. Sometimes they sell precious things, livestock or land, just to get to a clinic.
Only to potentially be turned away.
Exactly. Turned away because the specialized team isn't there or they don't have the right resources at that specific moment. Imagine the devastation after all that effort. That contributes directly to that 5 million number we mentioned.
Okay, so this is where the sources really point to the strategy of groups like Operation Smile. It's not just about swooping in, operating, and leaving. They work in over 37 countries, and the approach seems much more comprehensive, built for the long haul.
That's absolutely the key insight. The care has to be ongoing. It doesn't stop when the patient leaves the operating room. You need a whole team for comprehensive care. Yes, a surgeon, but also audiologists for hearing, orthodontists for teeth alignment, speech therapists,
Right.
and crucially, psychosocial support. Think about the years of maybe being isolated or facing stigma while waiting for treatment. That needs care too.
But wait, if you need all those specialists, well, the sources brought up a challenge. Keeping highly trained surgeons or therapists in, say, rural areas is tough. Retention can be really low. How does this systemic approach deal with that problem?
That's where you see the strategic shift. It's moving from just providing aid to investing in the health system itself. They tackle that retention and skill gap by investing heavily in education exchanges, sharing resources, basically strengthening the local healthcare infrastructure.
So empowering local professionals.
Precisely. So they can provide that high-quality care closer to where people actually live. It builds sustainability.
And it's worth noting, Canadian support donors, volunteers, medical pros is vital here. They're not just funding surgeries. Often they are the teams doing those training exchanges, transferring skills, helping build that local capacity.
Exactly right. And this whole collaborative effort, these life changes, they get celebrated globally. October 3rd is World Smile Day. It's a day to recognize the patient's strength and, that incredible moment when a parent or the child themselves sees their new smile for the first time. It's unforgettable.
So wrapping this up, the main takeaway seems to be that real change happens when people work together across borders. It's about restoring health, yes, but also confidence, a voice, a future. And this focus on investing in infrastructure, not just intervening, seems key to making it last.
And maybe we can leave you with this thought to chew on. We know there are successful models, dedicated organizations working on this. So how does that staggering number, 5 million people still waiting for treatment, challenge our own ideas about what counts as essential healthcare, especially when we know it's actually within our reach to provide? Something to consider.
That's it for today's deep dive. Want more? Stay connected with Global Heroes through our newsletter and socials.